A moment ago, I just released a video that's a more in-depth look at this, but then I was looking at my notes and I want to cover a just very intro overview. And we're going to see how we use this agent to respond to a request. So the request, I mean, honestly, like just looking here for a moment, it could just be a question in the chat window. So I could say, and we just begin the process. Now with this agent, it still comes down to prompting. We have this moment where we're saying, hey, this is the person's question. And the prompt has to establish like the goals here. And I just put this through OpenAI to get a good prompt. In the prompt, I mean, the data is important and the business logic is important. But what really I want to show here is that it has tools. And the agent will typically take a moment to, as you see, use a tool. And what's really amazing about this is I don't have to tell it which tool to use with every single type of question. It just learns to use them, or not learns, it uses them based off of just logic. And we can look here for a moment actually. It basically says, you know, this person's asking me a question, I'm going to save it in memory. And then I'm going to, as in the AI part of it, OpenAI in this case, I'm going to just consider this prompt and consider what to do. And it decides to reach for a tool. And this one is going to find or book barbershop times. And then the results it will take and parse them back into something that makes sense. Now, what this tool is, they can be almost anything. So you have this moment where you click a tool and you can attach it here. Now some of these tools are just really easy wins, like a calculator, so it can tell, like, it can do math better than what an LLM can do. It could be this one, which was a Twilio tool. I just went here and I found it, and now I can tell the LLM to send a text message. So basically when I give it this tool, I give it a name. I like to do that, underscore. I like to give it a description so it knows what to use, and then I give it the information it needs to then use that tool. Sometimes you can use these magic AI methods to fill in the particular details for that field, like I do here, where it makes up the message for me. But other times I want to hard code it or pass it in as a variable from over here. And then you have tools that are just database queries. Look at this one. I could just make a query, or I could have passed it in as a field. So I could have said where service like, you know, this, and then I could have passed that in here as a operator. So it would be a query parameter, and I could just do that and let it figure that out. So you can see how, I mean, that's just really neat. Like I've gone from you know, just giving it access to the database to query the service based on the user's question. This one even goes crazier because it's a call to an external N8N tool. So I can say, hey, workflow. So I can say, call this external workflow. And so in here we get into this point where I can then have another workflow. It doesn't have to be an agent. This one is, because I want this agent to just be very good at booking appointments and searching them. But it could have been anything. It could have been scraping the web. It could have been just saving something to a database and returning yes or no. But the point is it can call all of these external tools, and that's amazing as well. So the gist of it is, you know, take your request coming in, whether it's a simple prompt here, whether it's a text message or a chat window on your website, whatever it is, bring it into the agent with a good prompt and let it decide how to handle it by hanging off these clearly defined tools. And before long, you're going to escape the extra tedious work you needed to do before as a developer to have many APIs, and each API had to really be for a specific purpose or answer a specific business requirement. You know, now we can just give it to this thing and it can do it. It could even process. So I would have one that would check all of my emails from that day from Upwork, and it would then iterate over those, and then would go get past jobs I liked or things, and would bring it all together to finally send me an email of which ones I should apply for. So it can do multiple things in that particular flow, however it's triggered. And so you get this agents, you get tools. And remember, agents, I mean, this is a word we're seeing everywhere now, and you have them right here. They're just LLMs with a good prompt, tools that are triggered somehow. They're not magic. They're triggered even by just a clock. You know, you could just add a scheduled trigger that runs every hour to just make, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for this, but it just, you know, triggers your agent. So now you have an AI agent that triggers every hour to go search for the latest jobs on Upwork, to search your email box for the latest posts from a particular provider, or again, like Upwork. So you can, you know, use these agents to do so much, and then use these tools to just get a lot done. So that's a very like close-up look at these agents. I go into detail in the next video, which I'll link below, and you can go into the details of what this guy is doing and how it works. All right, thank you.